G'day guys, this is Omega back with another video. I don't know about you, but I really do feel that I have the right to defend myself and my family from intruders that would come into my house. Now here in Australia, if somebody comes into your house and let's say somebody kicks in your front door and they're unarmed, if you pick up a baseball bat and hit them, you will be charged because you have used an amount of force which is superior or more than the amount of force being used by the intruder. So here in Australia, if somebody comes in the house, you have to see whatever weapon they're using. Then you have to go and select a weapon of some sort of equal standing, and then use a weapon of equal standing to get them out of the house. And if they haven't hit you, you can't hit them. And if you do, you can be charged with assault. And that is absolutely ridiculous. Thinking about somebody kicking in your front door and it's the middle of the night, it's dark, you don't know whether they're armed. Of course, you're going to pick up a weapon that you feel confident will, be able to protect you and your family. You go out, there's some guy, ice addict or whatever, there, and you whack him. Cops come over, you get charged. That's what happens. He gets charged with breaking and entering. Maybe even aggravated burglary, and you get charged with assault. So that's what happens to you here in Australia. Recently, a man went out and defended his entire family from an ice addict with a knife, with an unloaded firearm, escorted him off the property, and the police came straight over and seized all of his guns and took his gun license off him. That's what happened to him. And we've just seen in Melbourne 4 vicious armed robbers, and I've got a photo of one here. This is Michael Thomas, and there's a warrant issued for his arrest. And he's also been called Matthew Thomas, and they are trying to find him. This is the kind of person I'm talking about, a scuzzbucket junkie. And him and 4 of his friends broke into a house. There were 3 occupants, a 37-year-old male, who was the son, and there were 2 others. So it was his dad, and I'm guessing the third was his mother. And I don't know about you, but when somebody's threatening your mum and your dad, you act. So that's what he did. They were all armed, these junkie intruders, and he tried to defend his parents, and they've whacked him with something and injured him. He's retreated, and he's got a firearm. He might be a member of a shooting club, or he might have a gun that he uses for hunting, and he's run back out. Obviously, there'd be a lot of screaming going on. These people are threatening to probably kill his parents and kill him. It's 3:30 in the morning, it's chaos, and he shoots back at them and clocks one of them in the chest. So, one of them runs off, and the police have come straight over, and they've taken him into custody, the 37-year-old guy, and thrown him behind bars, and his court hearing is not until January. So this guy's been locked away. He'll be in jail all Christmas, away from his family, and his court hearing is not till the 18th of January. And these other pieces of crap have been implicated in a string of armed robberies in houses and house invasions and very similar crimes to what they've committed here. And I don't know about you, but I think that's absolutely insane. I think we need to really have a look at the laws in Australia. I think that rather than having the current system we have, we should say to burglars, if you come into a house and invade a house and you threaten people, they have the right to use lethal force to get you out of the house. Now, that will be different in certain circumstances, but in this particular circumstance, where I think when you can genuinely say you fear for your life, you can use lethal force. Now, think about it. What is an equal amount of force that you can use when you are outnumbered 4-1? Now, these people are all armed, so you could pick up the same sort of weapon, and then they all get around you and beat you to a pulp until you're dying on the ground. I really do believe in this case, where you have 3 or 4 armed robber junkies coming into the house, I believe that a weapon which is equal to that force is a firearm. Because how else could you 100% guarantee your safety? How else could you get 4 vicious armed robbers out of the house without a firearm? Because they're just going to mob you and they're just going to beat you to death. And then they're going to take everything. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And tell me your experiences here if you live in Australia, because I've had instances where I've been threatened outside my home and things like that. And it felt like I'm absolutely powerless. I've actually rang the police and asked them, what do I do if somebody walks up my driveway and is screaming and you know, at me and my children and abusing us? And he said, you can't do anything unless he hits you. And I said, what if he's got a weapon? You can't do anything unless he hits you. And I said, what do? Get a baseball bat? And he goes, well, it has to be an equal sort of weapon to what he's using. That's how stupid it is. This is Omega, and I'll be back soon with another video. Cheers.